an incarcerated individual at Cuyahoga County Corrections Center. This call is not private.
What the fuck? This phone's staying bad as fuck. So, and now I just smell shit. I just smell something.
It's probably Friday.
I have no idea who the fuck that is.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised she only gave me 15. I thought she was gonna give me 85 years.
That's what I was expecting. I thought she was going to say life without parole, in some maximum security prison on Alcatraz on the moon.
She gave me 15 years and I do get parole?
Yeah.
That's crazy as fuck. Glad we have a cat that meows. I never, seen that in my life. Yeah, that's why I asked. These be the Jesus treat I teach you to me to eat it. I wish I was in here with 12 and 13-year-olds. Hair so long, I could braid it if I wanted to.
You should braid it.
I'm not talking about my hair on my head.
Oh.
I'm talking about my leg. And my coochie and my armpits, actually, but...
Mackenzie Shirilla has been in the spotlight since Netflix released their documentary, The Crash. We've also seen the power of a pissed-off big sister that has come forward to debunk the lies and misinformation. Natalie Shirilla recently joined the JFK podcast for an interview. Tonight, we are going to take a look at what she said and what we know. But first, thanks for being here. Don't forget to hit the like button and give us a follow. Now, here are your hosts, Amber and Velma.
Eight minutes late. Not bad. Lonnie,
Not bad
welcome.
At all.
Lonnie's
Lonnie.
new. Welcome, Lonnie.
You're new here. Welcome.
Hey, Justified.
We love new people.
Yes, we welcome everyone except Natalie Shirilla.
Hey, you know what? She's welcome too.
No, she is. She's welcome.
She's welcome, but we have some questions.
I told you I was fixing it, Justified. Hey, Arnie.
Yeah, we have some questions if she would like to talk. We can talk behind the scenes first, if she wants to do that, but
Right.
then we'll make it public. I would love to talk to her. I don't think she would want to talk to me. And then it also feels disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I have questions, and I would ask the hard questions. That's the problem.
Hey,
They don't
Angel
want to talk
Eyes.
to the ones that are going to ask the hard
The
questions.
difficult questions.
Mhm.
So, she did this interview Saturday night. I didn't see it till yesterday. And so for a tiny second, I felt bad for her as my mama heart,
Yep.
But then there's also two other mamas and sisters and a dad
And
missing their
stepmom
baby.
and
Yeah. And so that kind of left me,
Yep.
Um,
And I know we're going to cover it, but there was one part that just it really ticked me off, the way that she answered, and I was like, wow.
yeah. And Angel Eyes, I can fix that for you. So yeah, and the phone calls that have come out today that have been coming out all day.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
gosh, I haven't even caught up, but I've been
there's
sleeping
a
'cause
ton
I'm
of
not
them.
feeling good, but
I'm gonna put some more out tomorrow, but I have sped up the interview and I have taken out about 15 minutes of just slow times
okay.
so that we can move a little quicker. But as she says some things, we'll go over some stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
That we know. And so, and if that doesn't take us too long, then we can go over that one phone call that we talked about earlier. That was freaking crazy.
Right.
And
if we don't get to that one, I mean, phone calls are going to be dropping like hotcakes for a little while because they had 97 unheard calls.
Right.
And I see Blunder dropping them, and I see phone calls from prison, and I saw you had at least one.
Yeah, I have several that I kind of got sidetracked,
No, you're a busy woman, and the kids are out of school, and
we are, and we leaving to go out of town tomorrow. So
yeah,
well, me and the oldest are going out of town.
Right.
Arnie will probably be on for a little while, so you'll probably catch us if you come back. All right, so
we say an hour, but we tend to make it 2. So
Yeah, I start rambling.
That's
Somebody
both of
complained
us,
about that the
though.
other day, so I'm like, I'm sorry.
Really?
I'm a rambler.
I think that's very much just Louisiana, but
Yeah, I go to a store and I'm making a friend while I'm there.
oh, absolutely.
And even my
Absolutely.
daughter does that. She's like, "Thank you. How are you today?"
I'll
And
carry
I
on a
want
whole
her to be that
conversation with
way.
somebody I don't know. Yep.
Mhm. Yep. So, we'll go ahead and start it and see where this goes.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Natalie.
Hey, how are you?
Hey,
How are
thank
you?
you for being here. Thank
Hi,
you for
Natalie.
being here.
Thank you.
I've also sped it up, so I just wanted to say that too.
Nice seeing you on this Saturday. So now, first and foremost, I want to say, sorry for your loss with Dom. I know you knew Dom and you knew Damien. So sorry for your loss and what you're going through. I know it's tough. And thank you for being here and taking your time, first and foremost.
I'm probably gonna cry a whole lot, so sorry in advance. I'm gonna try not to though.
That's all right. That's all right. Like I said, on this channel, we're not see me. The reason why this case, I'm going to be real with you. I didn't really know much about this case back in 2022. I heard about it here and there on Court TV and on the internet, on TikTok, popped up through the feed. But obviously, with the Netflix doc that just came out, it kind of put another fire underneath it. So here we are. But to me, it's just, I just don't understand like the mindset of a juvenile where we're at. With kids. These kids nowadays. How old's Natalie? She's 21, correct?
Mackenzie, you mean Mackenzie?
Mackenzie, my bad.
Yeah.
Mackenzie.
If I put my glasses on, is the glare bothering you? Because I cannot see you without my glasses on. Is the glare okay?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
How old's Mackenzie? 21.
Mm-hmm.
She's 21. Yeah. So why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? Where did you grow up exactly?
I grew up in a suburb of Cleveland, Ohio.
What's that like growing up?
It was great. I love my family. We have a big family and a lot of kids and great parents and pets and a neighborhood community I'm old school, so we played out until midnight, and stayed out of the house all day and then came home and everything. So yeah, I had a great childhood.
Oh wow, that's awesome. And
Yeah.
is that the same area where Mackenzie grew up?
No, she grew up in Strongsville, and she was kind of one of the last age groups to be outside riding her bike without a phone. So she was kind of one of those last kids to go climb trees and dig in a ditch and play in the creek and all that stuff. So I ended up getting her a phone when, it's rough when kids, this whole cell phone thing was rough because we started getting rid of landlines. Did you guys ever go through that where people started getting rid of their landlines? Right.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have a child who's out riding their bike all over the neighborhood, and they're at a friend's house, they can't call because there's no landline, right? And
right.
especially if you have a little, well, not a little kid, but of age riding a bike around the neighborhood, especially a little girl, it's a scary thing if somebody approaches them and they have no means to ask for help or call stuff. I mean, I gave her like a whistle to blow and stuff, but
Stop.
the thing is, when you go to a friend's house and they want to call me, they can't. So they have to use the mom's cell phone, which is
Yes.
She said that Mackenzie is one of the last generations to grow up without a cell phone.
I think we're going to see that she says a lot of things that aren't like, I didn't have a cell
Because
phone.
I have nephews older than her, and they had phones. Like that just doesn't. I mean, yeah, we didn't have cell phones. We rode around, but we're in our
We had beepers
30s.
with
Like
payphones.
for real, Mackenzie wouldn't know what a payphone was.
No, they don't have those anymore.
She's only 21 years old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she said they were getting rid of the landlines, right? But she was like one of
The
the
people I
last.
babysat for in junior high got rid of their landlines. Come on.
Yeah, my kids always had a watch though, so that like I could
Right.
call them on that little watch. My
Mhm.
my son, my daughter. She's spoiled rotten.
Oh,
She
mine
does
is
have.
too.
She has the Apple Watch.
Mine has an iPad. So I mean, I can get in touch with her but she's never without an adult either.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, mine either. I mean, she might go off with my neighbor who we know very, very well, and I'm
right.
still like I talk to I talk to my friend Brittany, constantly. Like, so I just always know where she's at.
Yep. Same.
So
Yeah,
I
that
don't
just
play when it
shocks me
comes to
that
my
she said
kids.
that like Mackenzie's one of the last generations to grow up without a cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
That generation
kind of weird,
was,
right?
yeah, kind of weird.
Yeah.
For a child to have somebody use their cell phone. to call me. So we ended up having to get her phone just like to ride around the neighborhood and stuff. But she was one of those last kids where you always knew where all the kids were because there was a bunch of bikes in the yard, you know, that kind of
Nice.
thing. So yeah.
Was there a lot of crime? Was there a lot of crime in that area?
No,
None.
not at all.
Where she
Very
grew up?
safe. Yeah.
Very safe. Very
It
safe.
still is.
What's the population over there? Do you know off the bat?
Well, it's getting a lot. Like there's a lot of new buildings and structures that are being built and shopping plazas, and the people of Strongsville are kind of trying to not pass those law or bills or whatever they're called because our infrastructure can't handle a whole lot and the traffic is insane. It's a lot. So there's a lot more than there ever has before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's
definitely.
still, it's still pretty safe. There's just a lot of kids. There's a lot of families, but it's definitely way more.
Now, what do you do for a living, if you don't mind me asking?
No, that's okay though.
Okay. You don't have to answer that if you don't want to. But let me say this. So you grew up in what part of Ohio again? What was the name of it? Where you grew up?
It was like a west suburb, like Fairview.
Oh, it was like a suburb.
Area.
So how far is the city? It's Cleveland is the city, right? From where she grew. How far is that from where Mackenzie grew up?
Everything where we live, everything is 20, 30 minutes away.
Oh, okay. So she got access to the city.
You mean the Cleveland, like downtown?
Cleveland, yeah, to the main part of Cleveland, right?
Yeah,
like
everything is 20, 30 minutes away. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Does she hang out over that way? Does she go into Cleveland, into the city at all?
I mean, to take pictures sometimes and things like that. She would go take photos. She had friends with like her modeling portfolio and stuff. So things like that. There's a lake, we're right by Lake Erie, so we would go see like Rocky River Lake and the Edgewater Beach and stuff. It's really pretty.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So let's travel on a little bit. So how was she going to school? Was she into sports like when she was younger, say like elementary school? Did you guys have her in sports, or like what type of kid was she, if you don't mind?
No, that's okay. So we tried a couple things. We tried volleyball. That wasn't her thing. We did ballet and tap and stuff, and she kind of liked that, but she wanted to do that more with like friends and stuff. She really likes karate, right?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she loved karate and that whole thing. So yes, that was her favorite thing.
And she had no problem with school. Did she get into fights or anything like that? How was she? Did she work and play with others good?
So it's not. She didn't. She had challenges. Okay, there was a lot of fisticuffs with like teachers and whatnot, and I always used to tell her, like if her friend told her that she can't have something or her friend can't have something, she would stand up for her friend or herself and not like back down from that. So there was a little fisticuffs with teachers that way. Uh-huh. But she had, she had a mouth, so she used to get in trouble for her mouth quite often, but not like fights.
Now,
Oh, is it my internet? Hey, you're muted.
I feel like Kit just now.
Girl, the video stopped and I was like, is it my internet? I was like, the chat's still going, the ticker at the top still going. And then when the screen changed and you pulled something up, I was like, oh, never mind.
So yeah, my StreamYard is not working like great. So
no, mine
so this
either.
is
It
some
kept kicking me out
calls
while I was backstage.
that she had. Let me go to the screen. I don't like sharing screens usually. I like to
Have everything
I usually
loaded
like
up.
to have everything in there, but that's just not how life doesn't work how you want. So anyway, Strongsville police were called, and this was on February 9th, 2018, because I think I wasn't paying attention because I don't know, I spaced out for a second. And they asked about had she ever been in any kind of trouble, things that had went on at school.
Right.
So this is going to be from February 2018. And basically what they're saying is a fight between two juvenile girls took place at 13200 Pearl Road Center Middle School. So she was in middle school at the time. The fight took place between two 8th grade girls and happened as they were walking to the buses. Both girls exchanged words, shoved each other, and threw punches at each other. I spoke to the girls and their guardians at their homes. They were advised the school would handle the discipline for this and that it would be best if they did not have any communication with each other. The report is for record only. So this is this February 9th, 2018. So this is probably the same one. I'm not going to. The person and Mackenzie had been friends on and off for several years. They got into an argument during lunch, which carried on to after school on their way to the buses. They exchanged words, shoved each other, and threw a few punches at each other. I spoke to both parties at their residence. Neither had visible injuries, and both were advised to stay away and not to post anything on social media about each other. Mackenzie's father, Stephen, was concerned because the other kid's older sister, who was 1 year older than Mackenzie and the other kid, came to his house wanting to fight Mackenzie after the initial incident. Stephen was also extremely upset that the girl's grandfather, Ray Martinez, brought the girl to the house. I asked Ray why he brought the girl to the house, and he said he thought the girl was at the house actively fighting Mackenzie, so he went there to retrieve her.
What?
Yeah.
She's in your car, but you went to retrieve her?
I went to
my
retrieve her.
mama brought me to a fight one time. I'm not gonna lie, but
Ray stated that he and blank received bad information about where the altercation took place. They thought it was on Walnut Creek and not at the school. Stephen asked that all the blank parties were advised to stay off his property. I relayed this information to Ray, blank and blank. The parties were advised that this will be forwarded to the school for discipline. So
maybe he just brought the older sister.
Maybe so, to go help the little sister out.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. And they, like, maybe the older sister thought that they were at Mackenzie's house.
Mm-hmm.
That
so
could
this
be
is
why.
Another incident in 2018, but this is in October. So the other one was in February. This was at Strongsville High School. And they say that Pentica responded to 19106 Westfield Lane for a report of school bullying and menacing. The complainant, Maya, I wanted to X out her name, but I didn't, stated that her daughter was physically threatened while at Strongsville High by several students. She stated that she is fearful for the safety of her daughter. Mrs. Mohammed stated that this incident was told to her by her daughter after school and that she wishes for a report to be made.
Wow.
Hey, pretty fly for a Wi-Fi. So this was October. The other one was February. And it says, I spoke to blank, who stated that while she was in third period class on this date, Mackenzie Shirilla called her a bitch and threatened to beat her up. The child stated this was all over her not giving Shirilla a Dorito chip. That is wild.
That's like
Wi-Fi will be here.
Like pretty elementary, like, you won't give me a chip, you're mean.
So the child stated that Mackenzie posted on Instagram last year a picture of her showing her forehead. The caption stated that she had a big forehead. The child stated that Mackenzie tried to post the picture again today. This was brought to her attention, she stated, by her friend. And the child stated she was friends with Mackenzie last year, but ended the friendship because Mackenzie kept getting into trouble at school and wanted to eat all her Doritos. I added that. The child did report this to her guidance counselor. At end of school at approximately 2:30, the child stated she was surrounded at her locker by Mackenzie's friends, threatening to beat her up and taunting her to fight while Mackenzie stood behind them. She stated she was pushed into the locker, but stated that she refused to fight and pushed past them and left for the bus. She stated as she was on the way to the bus, Mrs. Shirilla approached her and apologized for what was going on. It was apparent, she stated, that the school called Mrs. Shirilla about the incident. The child stated that Mrs. Shirilla just wanted to go home and told Mrs. Shirilla she just wanted to go home and get on the bus. Mrs. Mohammed was very upset about this situation and stated she will contact the school first thing Monday morning. I then went to Shirilla's residence. and spoke with Mackenzie and her mother. Mackenzie stated that while in third period, the little girl threatened to beat her up after she asked for a Dorito, and that she did not call her a bitch. Mackenzie stated that she did tell her friends that she was being threatened by the little girl and stated her friends told her that they have her back. Mackenzie also said that she named her 3 friends, did surround the little girl at the locker after school, and she stood by and looked to see what was going on. Mackenzie said she did not tell her friends to do this. She then stated it was the little girl that pushed and shoved into the locker and then pushed past her. They also threw a soda on her, but did not report this to me. As for the posting on Instagram, Mackenzie stated it was one of her friends that grabbed her phone, took the picture, and made the posting, not her. Mackenzie also stated that she was threatened by one of the little girl's friends during the school day. Both the little girl and Mackenzie were given statement forms to fill out over the weekend, and the school will deal with it. Mackenzie ain't nothing without her minions. Yeah.
So I may be naive because this is not how stuff was handled whenever I was in school. Do they always get the cops involved for things like this now?
They do now.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is going to be May 14th, 2019. Again, this is when she stole earrings from Kohl's. Mackenzie stole earrings from Kohl's. Earrings were not recovered. Kohl's couldn't prosecute due to the value of earrings being less than $20.
From Kohl's.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, she was younger. Dom was, I mean, they didn't have the money yet. She was only like 14, 15. Okay.
Right. And this is a call that to EMS that Steve Shirilla made, and we'll talk about it again later. Yeah, over chips, Doritos. Steve Shirilla called the EMS or EMTs on March 23rd, 2020, while Mackenzie was 15 years old, saying that she was threatening suicide and required a psych eval. She has anxiety. The fire department was required for the PD to respond. Female will not be transported to the hospital. Parents do not think her threats are real. They do not believe she will hurt herself.
But they called, so they had some sort.
Right. So during the interview, they asked her, "Hey, has she?" And we'll talk about this again. Has she ever had any,
Right.
mental, whatever? And Natalie's like, no. Natalie's like, no, can't think of any. This is pretty significant, in my opinion.
I agree.
And then they also ask her, well, we're covering now, what kind of trouble did she get in school? And Natalie's like, no, I mean, she just like talked a lot and she had like a mouth on her.
Right. And as long as she applied herself, she was good.
Ma'am, the police never came to my house when I was a kid.
Mine either.
So this is, or when I was adult, or when I was an adult. I want to make that clear. So Monday, April 4th, 2022, this is the same year that everything happened. Menacing again, disorderly conduct. April 4th, 2022, at 13:07 hours, the victim advised that an unknown male was following her while she was driving. So this is Mackenzie that makes this report.
Okay.
What happens, and there's some video out there, the subject exited his vehicle twice to confront the victim and at one point blocked her vehicle as it was parked in the driveway. The incident will be forwarded to the prosecutor for review. So apparently, Mackenzie was following him and threw something at his car.
And she recorded herself, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
I thought
and he was
so.
just standing there not doing anything. But the prosecutors did charge him.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, they did. So it appears
Damn.
Daniel knocks on the window, stares, and smirks at her. Mackenzie stated she continued southbound on Prospect Road and turned onto White Bark and attempted to get away from Daniel. Yeah, she was very scared. And she pulled into the first driveway, and Daniel used his vehicle to block her in. Mackenzie was able to maneuver her vehicle out and continue driving. However, Daniel cut her off, parking in front of her, exited his vehicle again, and walked up to her driver's side window. In that particular video, Daniel is seen standing beside the driver window with his arms crossed, staring. Mackenzie was able to flip around and by this time contacted SWEDC. She was advised to drive to the police station. But during the video, if I am not mistaken, she was acting like out of control, being obnoxious.
I think so. Like
Mhm.
road rage, yeah.
Yes. But this poor guy, I don't know whatever happened to it. He was issued a misdemeanor citation, and I never did look into it to see what had happened. This was April 15th, 2022. Parks, then right onto Whitney Road. Somebody had a dog in their lap. The caller was a silver Camry. This is something different. This was, I believe, like a little
Like a
hit and run,
is
like a
what it
ding.
looks like, yeah.
But nothing ever came of it. This girl had trouble, for what's
And for
her
only
name?
having her driver's license for approximately 2 years.
Right.
You think she would still be careful, like.
Mm-hmm. So they asked the question. They're like, so was she ever in any trouble? Natalie's like, no, not that I can remember. Why? Why do you ask? And then there it is. So,
The way it sounds like with this interview is like they didn't look into anything, just somehow they managed to get her on. I don't know.
well, I think they knew some things, and I think they got her on. And in a way, I can see how they. Yeah, Jay, this was a couple months before the accident. This last stuff.
Mhm.
I think they were trying to. They may not have agreed with everything she said or believed
Right.
everything she said, but they weren't going to be ugly and fight with her because, then she would just go away.
Right. Then they just, rage quit your interview. So
Right. So I
get
think,
that.
How they did it was pretty good. So we'll go on and see what else she has to say. I'm going to try to pay attention this time.
Okay.
Was she like her friends at school? Were they the same? Did she keep the same group of friends from like elementary to junior high to high school? Were they the same group of friends like throughout?
Yeah, she stayed pretty friendly with all of them throughout. Mm-hmm.
And how are they feeling now about this whole situation? Is it divided or?
I don't know. I'm giving everybody their space. Everybody's allowed to feel how they feel. It's okay.
That's great. Yeah, definitely. So now, when she was young, there was no diagnosis with anything like that. Did you ever take her for like an evaluation or anything like that? Did you see anything like that might have been offered her? And I mean that with all due respect.
Well, no, that's okay. She's always had like anxiety. Like, who doesn't have anxiety in today's world, though, right? So that's not like super uncommon. But so we were trying to get her some anxiety meds, and then I was like, well, maybe it's ADHD, which is also not super common with kids today because there's so many distractions, right? And their the devices are constantly going off with notifications, and we live in a on-demand world, right? So you don't have to wait for anything. Everything's like right at your fingertips, and it's constantly being distracted and pulled from everything. So I was trying to get her to maybe see if it's that or something. So I never got to finish with that part, but so just like anxiety,
Anxiety. Did she see a doctor for that? The anxiety?
So yeah, she always talked to somebody with like tools on how to help cope with anxiety and everything and process and stuff. So she did okay with that.
What about the behavior? Like you said that she had this, like sometimes she had these behavioral issues. Did she see like anybody for that, the behavior?
No, she didn't. Like behavior history was like what?
Like I'm just when she like got in trouble with the teachers or anything like that, like talking back and things like that. Was that part of when she went to go see the doctor for the anxiety? Was that part of it? Was it all bunched in together?
So she went to go to a counselor for that, who would try to help with tools and stuff like that. Like it's not that she was wrong in how she was feeling, because remember, everybody is allowed to feel how they feel. It was how she coped with it and dealt with the situation. Remember, she's like 15, 16,
right,
teenager at the time. So we were trying to hone in your skills on how to deal with those kinds of situations.
Now, was she in regular classes at school? Because I know where I'm from, like if you mess up, they have like alternative schools, and things like that. Was she stayed in the regular part of the school? Mm-hmm. And she had good grades or decent grades and made it right through, no problem?
When she applied herself, she'd be great, right? Just like any, well, I shouldn't say just like any the average teenager. Applied herself, she did really well, but she got average grades.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, hey, you hit the bumpy roads for sure as a teenager. Mm-hmm. So we're right in that pocket right now. Kev, you want to ask her anything?
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, I see. I mean, I can understand a lot of it. Like, I mean, growing up and, like you're saying, the era of no landlines. I mean, things were just changing for a lot of us,
Yeah.
and even for us adults to adapt to it as well. I mean,
right.
You're taking something away from that the roots of how we grew up to a change, and the schooling, I can understand, I mean, sometimes like, what it sounds like is maybe she just kind of, had that reputation as, a little tough to manage. You know what I mean? She was, she'd voice her opinion. If
you know what's funny about that is not to interrupt you, but some of the teachers there appreciated that strength in her and kind of try to cultivate that and help her grow and move through that. And other teachers, they don't, which is also okay. I can't imagine being a teacher in today's world either, so that's okay too. But some teachers, they understood where she was coming from and they knew who she was like in here and kind of, loved her for it and stuff. And other teachers just really don't.
Yeah, so. I mean, and I can understand.
That's a good point. Good point.
Yeah. Good point. This, as a stubborn child, let's say, or is she an only child? Does she have any other siblings?
Oh, I don't want to talk about that because I need to.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Whatever you don't want to talk about, it's fine.
Yeah.
No pressure. We're just conversating. That's all.
Yep.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
The biggest thing that I really that kind of come up, throughout me, starting to realize and learn a little bit about this case is the POTS, the POTS disease. I mean, when did you realize that she might need to be tested, or was she tested for it? Yeah. Did she ever have any other episodes? Or I mean, is there any is
medically? Sound turned off.
Is it documented at all? Or
sure. So there's only so much I can get into because we're obviously, as you know, in the middle of an appeal.
Yes,
right? Like only like talking what I can talk on. But yeah, she was diagnosed in 2017 with POTS, and she has a couple episodes and some very scary situation. Which
can everyone hear the video, or is it just Velma? Well, I'm not playing it right now. I'm going to play it and see.
Led me to go get her tested, and it turns out that she does in fact have that.
No, that must have raised her anxiety. I mean, I can only imagine. Like if you're passing out and like you don't know what's wrong with you,
right?
That must be tough. Because I know somebody with POTS. It's no joke. It's no joke.
Velma, I think it's you. Get out and come back in. StreamYard is such a butthole lately.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough thing for sure.
It can increase your anxiety because your blood pressure it's up and down, and it makes
drops,
you feel like right.
Like vertigo and all that, and not only that, you always anticipate an episode. Like
everything's scary, like all the time, like because you have to manage what you're eating and what you're doing and stuff. So you just have to be really cognizant of your what you're doing.
Right. Now she was, and now that was in 2017. How old was she in 2017? Was she 15 at that time?
15.
Yeah, 15 years old. So she's going through that at 15 and having the anxiety, trying to get through school. Now she never got in trouble with the law back then. She never been arrested, anything like that. If you don't mind asking,
No.
Never. No. And she got her license. And how in Cleveland? Well, in Ohio, she was 17. She had a license. So
she just said that she wasn't in trouble with the law ever. But we just went over all the times that a police officer would come to the house and talk to them about her behavior at school. So in my opinion, that's in trouble with the law. Maybe they didn't do anything to her. Maybe that's what she means. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt, but she wasn't like this stellar person, even at a young age.
You can get your license at 16 out there, or is it even younger?
I think it's 15 and a half. You can get your temps.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you got to go to driving school and things like that. Did she go to driving school and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yep. Good for her. So she was a go-getter.
Oh yeah, she's a mover and a shaker for sure.
A mover and shaker. Yes.
Yeah.
I like that.
Now, within the with the bench trial, it didn't seem like really the defense raised any. They didn't really raise the concerns of POTS. I mean, was there any reason for that? I mean, is it just? I mean, how did you feel? I mean, how did you feel about the, her defense?
So, my husband and I were not in the trial. Okay, I didn't get to see what he. I'm gonna cry again. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Take your time.
Yeah, take your time.
I didn't get to see what he presented and what he didn't present. Okay, until it was like too late, right? So after
you guys, you were witnesses. Is that the reason why you were there?
I was.
Okay. All right.
And then my husband was having health issues and like a giant mess over this whole thing, so he couldn't sit in there to like handle his health, and he just
listen closely as she's saying that Steve was having health issues and he just couldn't be in there because he's sitting next to her while this is going on.
Right.
Yeah.
But, he was in there some days, right? But so at the end of the trial,
and he was there some days. It was 4 days.
That's fine. Take your time.
Oh, okay. So, hold on a second.
Take your time. Take your time. No pressure.
He put me out of there on purpose. He didn't want me hearing what he was saying.
There was back and forth with that one, okay? Because there was a little controversy with my husband because at one point he told me that he might be a witness, and on the other side he might not. Like he was kind of back and forth with Steve being a witness or not, okay? So, and he also has anxiety and couldn't handle a lot of the stuff, and we have severe PTSD. So there was some weird stuff going on with keeping him in or out of the courtroom. It was weird, okay?
Where was Dad?
Dad had to stay home today
Why?
because he can't handle the stress, or He just needs to stay home.
Is he okay?
So he's okay. He's 100% okay. He just doesn't want to cause problems for you because of his lack of maybe controlling, saying something he shouldn't say.
And who was all there? Who was all there today?
Let's see. Oh, and besides that too, he does obviously Daddy loves you. He just wants to make sure you're in the best position. That's all.
I know.
It was really hard to sit in the lobby with Tyler yesterday. It was really hard.
Who?
Tyler.
Who the fuck is Tyler?
Tyler,
He was there yesterday?
wasn't he the one who testified about Davian's 360?
No, that was Tyler.
Okay.
The girl?
I didn't find out until after the trial that Jim, her lawyer, didn't turn in her medical diagnosis. I don't know why.
So let me back up a little bit, right? Let me just back up because Kevin Kev took us right to the trial. I just want to go a step before that. So she gets arrested. She hangs out with the family, right? Did she ever tell the family that this could have been a medical episode prior to her getting arrested? Did she ever mention that to them? Were they aware of that? Or is
I
that
don't know
something
what the conversations were with them. I don't know.
So my next question would be, right, and that's fine. You don't have to answer that, right? But well, you did answer it. I'm sorry, but you know what I mean. I just want to say this. How did she get tried as an adult? How does that juvenile hearing happen? Is there a transfer hearing where they bring doctors? Because in Massachusetts, I just want to let me land the question right. In Massachusetts, when you have a transfer hearing, they kind of bring in the doctors because under 25 years old, your brain's not developed, right? So they bring in the doctors, they have evaluations, and they see if someone can be rehabilitated. Now, the reason why I asked you all the questions about school, being arrested, it seems like she would be a client for rehabilitation, right? She wasn't getting arrested, going to juvenile detention, and doing all these crazy things.
Right.
And that's what they look into in Massachusetts. Now, when I looked at the Ohio law, they said this is this mandatory clause. All they need is probable cause, and she gets tried as an adult. Now, if you could, can you take us through that hearing and how did that hearing happen? The juvenile hearing to get bound over to an adult.
So that's interesting too. So she had her bind over hearing, and during the hearing, the judge had determined that there wasn't enough evidence for the aggravated part, which is obviously great, right? So the premeditation part was removed because they couldn't prove that part because there was none. So that's good. And then the interesting part was I want to touch base a little bit on the coroner report change. I don't know if you knew that part or not. Did you read anything? Did you see anything?
Say that again.
The coroner report change?
I heard about
that. Go ahead. If you don't mind sharing it, go ahead if you don't mind.
So during the bind over hearing.
After the bind over, it went from accidental to.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's fine. I get it.
He just can't shut up.
And she's so fed up with him. She's like, this is my interview.
Meanwhile, Mr. Hot Wheels is sitting to the side, ready to jump in.
Just put them both on the damn camera at this point. She's like, I know, I'm getting to that.
She's very patient, I have to say.
And he cannot keep his mouth shut. That's why he doesn't get to talk to Mackenzie much.
And he's a teacher.
That's why we don't have a lot of calls.
Yeah, but he's a teacher. So how does he deal with kids who are, I don't know.
He was an art teacher, so maybe they let extra slide with the art teacher. Who knows?
During the bind over hearing, the coroner, what's he called? The coroner?
The medical examiner?
Yeah, thank you.
Medical examiner. Yeah.
So he was on the stand, and he was talking about how he examined everything, and they determined that it was an accident. Okay, so that's how it was on the coroner report change. And then the prosecution asked him, well, you didn't look at anything, right? You're just using your medical expertise. You didn't see all the evidence and anything. And he was like, no, I saw everything. And we determined it was an accident. Okay. So then after it got bound over to the adult court.
Can I just stop you? Can I just stop you there? But what, when you were going through that hearing, did anybody explain, did a lawyer, what lawyer did she have in juvenile court? What lawyer did she have? Was it a public defender?
No. So that's where I was going. So his name is Jim, and he wasn't a public defender. He had said that when you're in the juvenile facility, the what's it called? The burden of proof is so low. It's so low that, and then he was like, do you understand what murder is? That means that's not this. Do you understand that means intent? But forget that. So he was so on board with it not being that because there's no intent. Right. And
right.
So he's like, the burden of proof is so low that they bind over everybody.
Yeah, because all they need is they could just try to make the intent that she drove, she sped up, and whatever happened after that. If it's murder, then that's what it was. If they got hurt, then that's what it was. It's probably, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, because we were going to appeal. I didn't know that you could appeal that decision, right? And that's why I was like, should we appeal? And he goes, because do you understand? We could, but the burden of proof is so low.
So you could appeal. Now you could appeal the juvenile decision.
I guess that's what but he was like, the burden of proof. He kind of talked us out of it.
He talked you out of it. Now, but they didn't have no doctors on there that interviewed her, that stepped up on her behalf in a juvenile. Because, at the end of the day, you would think that they would bring some, people in there, therapists, because she did hit a wall. And R.I.P. Dom and R.I.P. Damien. But she was in the car. And if you don't know any better from the outside in, and I don't know this for a fact, you would think that she was suicidal.
This motherfucker said Damien. And I know it's not the only time that he was going to say it. But that feels so disrespectful. And if you're talking, you're on mute.
I wasn't talking.
Okay.
I was talking. Because what I said was, it was the name, wasn't it?
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. It's one thing, like, to say Christine or Christina, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But Davion, Damien, and that is not his Massachusetts accent at throwing that shit off.
But
It's not.
in his defense, I get Craig and Greg confused all the time.
Okay.
So it can happen, but I usually don't talk about a deceased Craig and Greg. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna know
Like
who I'm talking about.
I'd be very careful, but yeah. So
I'm being nitpicky, y'all.
Suicidal, right? So why wouldn't they bring a therapist in to kind of get down to why?
That's a great
she ends up
question.
like this, right?
We
So they
had-
don't do
we had
They
one.
don't do that.
No, we
was he
had
there?
one.
Okay, and what
He
happened?
never called her.
At the transfer hearing, the bind over hearing, he never called her.
Mm-mm.
Why? And why is that? Did he ever give you an answer to that?
I don't know.
And what was her her take, so to speak?
She had so much evidence, so much statistical research showing that this is not suicide and this is not what it looks like when people commit suicide, especially a girl her age. Like, there's no way.
What was her conclusion though? Like her mindset, because she did go into the wall. She's saying it was just an accident, or she's saying that maybe something else happened. Like, what was her take? She talked to Mackenzie.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
And what was her like analysis?
It was
on
not
Mackenzie?
suicidal. It was not murder, not suicidal. It was an accident.
Well, the crime, but what did she say? If you could, what did she say about Mackenzie? Like her mindset or how she was as a teenager? Like, what did because everybody on the internet, I don't believe what the internet says, but everybody says the most wildest things, right? And me personally, I don't feel comfortable piling on a young girl. I just don't feel comfortable doing that. But I'm trying to understand what the therapist she must have had to take analysis on her, like what type
She
how
didn't say
she
what she
feels.
thought. She just said what it wasn't. Right.
But a therapist said that. A therapist said what it wasn't. Like she wouldn't say what. Like so. My point is, was that her job to see if it was an accident, or was it her job to kind of see the mindset of Mackenzie?
To talk about the statistics of the suicide, or like if somebody murders, like she's a behavioral health specialist.
And she talked to Mackenzie. And she talked to Mackenzie.
No, she talked to Mackenzie after. Okay, not during. So she was just there solely to talk about what a typical suicide murder accident looks like, kind of thing. But that's what she.
Yeah, see that. And that's the issue, right? Because if she's just speaking on the case itself, what suicide looks like, then it's like in the hypothetical, like that's not what it is. But my point is, there was never a therapist that actually got on the stand and talked about what type of person Mackenzie was.
So yes, but let me go back to that one. The other behavioral health specialist has also known Mackenzie her whole life, like her whole life. So she kind of had an insight on who she was too. But there was also one who was there, her counselor, and said that she's never seen Mackenzie to be suicidal, doesn't know her to be suicidal or anything like that. And she's talked to Mackenzie her whole high school life.
okay, so we talked about this one already, is when Steve had to call 911 because she was threatening suicide, and this is when she was at the age of 15. So she was in fact suicidal at one point, or some type of mental breakdown. And then right here is when she was in the hospital. Steve says, Mr. Shirilla stated to the deputy that they had to keep her in the hospital because she already tried to kill herself and she killed those two boys. And they can't allow her to leave the hospital because she is suicidal.
And that wasn't admissible in court, I guess.
I'm not sure if it was or not, but it's more to...
Oh, I understand you're debunking what Natalie's
the mother should
saying.
know that.
Right.
I mean,
That's
she was there for this.
well, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe Steve said it in his own gibberish language that she can't understand.
Right.
So
because he probably has one too.
Right.
So.
To keep her out of certain information too.
Regardless, this is
we don't know what goes
reports
on in that house.
I know
exactly. Two different
police reports from several years. So there was an issue there.
One from before, and then one right after the accident while she's still in the
right, because she wanted to leave. And they told her she could not.
because she was a harm to herself.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, little
And
Smokey.
she
So what is
testified.
so what's the criteria? Now I understand like the intent. It's so easy, the intent of probable cause. But what's the criteria if you know? And did you get educated at that point?
Well, I'm
What's the
not sure.
criteria of the juvenile to be tried as a juvenile? Because under 25 years old, her brain ain't developed. You know, should she go in some type of treatment? You know,
I
like
don't
so
know.
they did. You don't know. And this lawyer didn't tell you none of this stuff.
No, he just kept telling us that the burden of proof was so low. That's all he kept saying.
So is it fair to say, is your take today that they kind of fed you to the adult system? They didn't put up a fight in that transfer hearing because you only got one shot at that transfer hearing.
I do feel that way because I feel like we should have appealed it. I feel like and this is why I'm going to cry again, because I feel like so many opportunities were missed to show that this was not intentional, and we just missed it. Like we missed it by listening to legal counsel, which that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to rely on your legal counsel to do stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So now she gets by. So now before she went to, so I want to get to the jails that she went to. So in 2022, she was being held in a DYS, like a youth service, right? And when did she, and so when did she get transferred to adult prison? Was it when she got sentenced or was it right when they binded her over?
It was when they bound, gosh, I haven't thought about that part in a long time. So when she got bound over, it was relatively after, a little after.
So she went
No.
to like she went to the county jail.
Yeah, she was there for a couple of weeks
So she went to the juvenile
during the trial.
So was she in juvenile basically up until the trial?
That's right.
So they kept her in juvenile, and
Yeah.
then they. So she went from a juvenile facility where now what was that like? That juvenile facility, like where they treated her better? Was she be treated like a resident versus an inmate? Like was her mind was she a little bit more laid back? Like what was the difference between, if you could tell us the difference between the juvenile facility through your lens to where she's at now?
The juvenile facility is where she's at now is way better in my opinion. I love the staff at the juvenile facility. They're so nice and they love those kids, and I love them, and I'm still staying in contact with them.
So you're saying the juvenile facility was good versus the state prison?
Well, there's three. There's
Oh,
the
there's
juvenile
three.
facility, county,
Okay.
and the prison.
Okay.
Okay.
So in the juvenile facility, what was her mind state like in that juvenile facility, Mackenzie?
That the truth will set her free.
Okay. And then
So
then she goes into the county. She goes to adult jail. What was that like? Did she ever like express like the change up from going to being around kids to adults? Like, did she
it
ever?
was scary. That was a very scary situation for her and me, because you're in there with scary people, right? And some not, some are. And that was just a scary situation all the way around. A lot of unknown, treading unknown waters. We have no idea what the staff is like. And you hear all these horror stories and you see these movies about what people have to endure when they're in that situation. And she's like an 18-year-old tiny little girl who got into a car accident, and we're just holding on for like dear life through that situation. It was very, very scary.
And then she gets sentenced, right? And she ends up in the state prison. What, if you could describe what that prison's like over there right now and the treatment over there? Because some people are saying it's a cakewalk and some people saying it's tough. Through your lens, what's it like in there?
I don't know. I know that there's no good days for anybody in there. It's very hard, and you always have to, walk around with eyes in the back of your head and
Bullshit.
everything. But I don't know why they call it a cup.
We went over
Bullshit.
this like 2 days ago, I think, or a couple
And
days
I
ago.
have seen, other than Kat and the ex-girlfriend that looks like Davion, I've seen another girl that I follow on TikTok, which is like, she's really big into Swiftie content, but she's gone to the same prison 3 times. And she was like, that place is so fucking cush.
Yeah, we've seen it. It's like there's no good days. Oh, please.
They have once a year, they have yard day where they rent a bunch of carnival and food things and food trucks and stands and like what?
Mm-hmm.
And
Do you know
there's
who
no
will
such
never
thing
have
as
a
a good day
truly
in there.
a truly good day again in their lives?
Dom and Davion.
Yeah, or their mothers or their fathers or their siblings.
Right, because
So
anytime a big moment in their life happens that they should be happy, and they will be to an extent,
yeah,
but
but
it's
they'll
going to be
always have
just as
that,
painful because they're not there. Those boys are not there. This lady,
right? Oh, it's a very boutique-y prison. It is very nice,
yes,
very clean.
better than our public schools down here in
Yeah.
Louisiana.
Exactly.
What do they call it? A cupcake camp?
No, a cakewalk.
A cupcake camp.
A cupcake camp.
It's just a cupcake camp where she's at.
Girl
Yeah, they
Scout.
call it a
Okay,
cakewalk. Yeah.
because they do have there are programs that you can do, and it does sound nice that you have access to all of those things, right? So it could always be worse. I always tell her, and everything that she's ever gone through, things can always be worse. No matter what you're going through, things could always be worse. So
Yes.
Has she been participating in any programs in there for rehabilitation?
when she can, there's a lot of women in there, so it's hard. There's a wait list on a lot of those things. So when she can, she does, which is good. Yeah.
I'm willing to bet she hasn't done anything.
That's what I was wondering, and I was
Just
wondering
my
if we can
opinion.
pull that information.
I've asked for it. I'm waiting.
Okay.
I should have
Because that
answers
would
by
be
this week. I don't know if
interesting.
they'll give me that because it's like education type stuff.
But not necessarily. Sometimes just their programs and certificates, like we can get proof of that. Because I know it's a different state. They had gotten it on Gypsy Rose.
Lonnie, let me tell you something. I used to work at Everett, but my husband graduated from there. But let me tell you this. The prison she's in is pretty sweet compared to Everett.
No, and she's not. This is like a mid, like minimum. It's not low minimum security, but it's not the max security that they would send her to if like she were an actual like problem. Because there is one, like this is where she's at is where they send the majority of women to. And even the one woman that was on death row in Ohio is at this prison because she's not like they even lowered her sentence to life.
Oh,
She's not
wow.
even on death row anymore. Yeah. But like I guess, the real actual problems would get moved to a maximum security, but she would just have to show them that she's an issue
Mm-hmm.
to get moved there. Yeah.
So
Like
let me
she'd
let
have
me let me
to shank somebody probably.
Yeah, I don't think she'll ever do that.
No, I don't think so.
bounce a little bit back again. So you're getting a lot of pushback from the internet, right? And we know that Mackenzie was active on the internet, and and from my lens, from my perspective, I think that she thought that she was going to come out with the story and people would see it her way, and it would be kind of like a free Mackenzie type thing, right? Which I guess there is a lot of people who say free Mackenzie too. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
But you do understand where people are mad because when she was in the hospital, you guys were talking in some type of language. Now, where did she learn that? Did she learn that from you? Because that seems like something from our era, right?
It is. So
Yeah.
it's like inbred in my family. We all speak it, like all of us, all of our lives. And yeah, so that came from it's called Carney Talk. And I don't know, it's just a part of who we are.
Now, when she said something like blaming it, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, because I'm sure you heard this question 1,000 times.
Okay.
But when she said something like blame it on the pots, blame it on my seizures, did she say that? Was that something that she said, or did they misconstrue it?
No. So the prosecutor, I guess in one of those documentaries, he says that what they're speaking right now is something like gibberish. And then what he says is, she says something like, can you tell him I just had a seizure? Let's just tell him I had a seizure. That's not what she says. Okay? That's not what she said.
But why were you guys talking like that to begin with, though? Like, is that something like, why did you guys revert to that?
Because it's just a thing, because she was probably scared and didn't know what you can and can't say, right? So if you always tell, don't talk to the police without a lawyer or whatever, and she was probably scared and wanted to make sure it's okay for her to talk, that's okay. That's, in my opinion, that's responsible. You can ask me if you can talk, that's okay, right?
Right.
Because you always say, like, don't talk without a lawyer, right?
She said Carney Talk, like a carnival, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? Like a carnival, yeah. Well, we have a carnival around our way in Boston. It's been around for years. It's called Fiesta Shows. The bumper cars are still the bumper cars from 1975, but that's another story. I think we need to update their carnival. Fiesta Shows. Who's going to the? I'm still going though. I don't care if it falls apart. I'll still be there.
You
right?
should.
But yeah. So, but you can understand why the pushback
Can I
is,
go
right?
back on? Yeah, I totally
You can
understand
say
it.
whatever you want.
But that's not what she says. Okay, what she said was, and I'm going to tell you, okay, because the word seizure, okay, in Carney Talk is loaded with Z's. It's very hard to say in seizure, right? So it's
Can you say it to us right now?
seizure. There's too many Z's in there.
So if you don't mind saying, blame it on the seizure. Go ahead and say it in that language.
I'm
if you
afraid
don't
to
mind.
do that because what if they edit and snip a soundbite and plug it into other
right.
things? Like, I
That's
don't trust
fine.
anybody.
That's fair.
I just don't want them to do that to her and me.
No, I get
But
it.
if you
And I'm
listen
not
to that sentence, there's no word. That word is not in that sentence.
Can I say something to her? Yes. He's like Caesar. He's like Jesus. He's like who's the least like seasons is a reason. You can. Yeah, like, can I just like take my whole license away? Can I say something to her? Yes.
he said he's like Caesar. He's like he's in this like he's music cheesy Caesar resources like Jesus he's like he's like who's so like seasons is a reason you can like can I just like take my whole license away?
So if it was an accident, which she said sounds like the CZs or whatever.
Caesar, yeah.
Yeah. So if it was an accident, you're in the hospital, this is a couple days after, and you know in your heart it's an accident. Nothing had really been put out that they were coming to get her, you know. Why did
Right.
she think? I mean, they were coming to return her phone and her things to her. Why did she think, can I just give up my license for 10 years? Like, what made her think that she would have to give anything up if it was a true accident?
Right. Why did she think there needed to be consequences for an accident?
Right.
Because growing up, don't we get told and don't we tell our children it's okay, accidents happen,
Right.
and they
Right.
don't have a repercussion?
Right.
And
So that
that's
kind of
why we have car insurance. Like, those are the things that I remember getting told.
right. And you know, yeah, two people lost their lives, but if it was truly like a medical condition or it was
A true
um
accident, there would be no repercussion.
what made her think that they were coming to punish her?
Right.
You know, because she would already live with that for the rest of her life. You know? So
Right.
that was
The guilt would be enough, you know,
right.
even if it was a true accident, knowing that it was at your hands, no matter what, the guilt would be enough for me, even if it was a true accident. I got in a car accident one time and the other vehicle that hit me flipped, and the immediate words out of my mouth was, "Oh my God, is he dead?"
Mm-hmm. But that
Because
was
I would have held that for the rest of my life, right? And he was the one who hit me.
I just don't understand why she immediately thought
Take my
they were
license
coming
for
to
10 years.
punish her. Right.
Yep.
And did she really think, oh, taking your license for 10 years, if it
Is
was
gonna
not an
be
accident,
enough.
is enough? Right.
Maybe she, being 17, freshly 18, felt like if she said that it would have kept them from continuing the investigation and actually finding her guilty of murder.
Mm.
We'll never know. Mackenzie will never tell us.
No.
So here she is now, right? You're getting all this pushback. She's talking now. When you guys were talking about Kim Kardashian and all these different things, I mean, was this a mechanism? Because the way I took I didn't hear all the phone calls. Let's be clear, ladies and gentlemen. I know there's a lot of phone calls. People are just nitpicking every single one. But the one that I heard about, one from the UK or something like that, you were telling her this is everywhere now. And I feel like, you know, you basically were trying to calm her down a little bit. And then people took it like you guys were laughing. I didn't really see it that way. My opinion, I didn't see it that way. I seen like, you know, you were saying that it's out there. The awareness is out there. She still stood on her square and said, hey, I'll tell the truth. You know, I don't care. I got nothing to hide. And they just took that all wrong. But like I said, that is my opinion. People take it the way they take it. But do you feel that she has remorse? Like, and like, what was that like during that whole process? I heard you speak about it in trial. You know, when that whole situation happened, like, what was that like, her going through, and then her handling, like she got broken. Like, what was that like?
So I wanted to touch base first of all on the phone call. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I feel so bad that people think I'm laughing. I'm probably gonna cry again. So forgive me.
Okay, I got to tell you one more thing.
What?
It was published in England.
What?
Yes.
It's world news?
I think the Daily Mail just publishes it in all their publications, but yeah, the UK.
It's on the Daily Mail?
In UK.
Maybe Kim Kardashian will reach out herself.
That's what I'm saying. I'm hoping. We're getting there. I was going to do this anyway, so this is great.
And they could just reach out to us.
Mm-hmm. Craziness, baby girl.
I'm gonna try not to though. I wasn't laughing. I wasn't laughing at the situation or the
I
accident.
felt like she just covered up a
I wasn't
laugh
really
right there.
Mm-hmm.
She like laughed just now saying I wasn't laughing.
Yeah, I was not laughing. But she was laughing.
And I get it. She wasn't laughing at
the death
the
of
victims.
right.
No. She was laughing at the fact that it's gone nationwide and it's gained so much notoriety.
Mm-hmm. Which
But
isn't
at
still
first,
funny to
no,
me.
what's weird is that first she didn't want to tell Mackenzie because Mackenzie was like, holy shit, like this is going all over. Why is it going on? Like Mackenzie didn't seem to like that it was going all over, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then she's
No,
like,
I
okay, I
think
have
she
to tell
wanted
you
it
one more
to.
thing.
I think she wanted it to.
I don't think at first she did. And then as it became more infamous,
Mm-hmm.
yes. And she's loving it now, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
But I don't think she necessarily wanted, and this is just my opinion, I don't think she necessarily wanted it to in the moment. I think she wanted it to just be said and done and her go home, you know.
Oh, pumpkin. I somebody say, oh, every time she says, oh, pumpkin, it drives me freaking nuts.
Yes, she liked it until they called her a murderer.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Laughing at all.
I was not laughing.
After the car accident, we had gone through so much, and the other families too, obviously. But we had gone through so many, like, oh my God, like what is happening? And so many scary, dark moments in time, right? And all those times, like there were so many conversations before those phone calls that nobody knows happened, crying, looking at pictures of his phone, listening to his music, going through memories, so many phone calls of all of that, of us crying together and talking about that nobody gets to know. So all people hear are the phone calls where she's in the trial, which is a terrifying situation.
Is that her saying that they had private phone calls while she was in juvie?
She's saying something, or she thinks that they won't ever be released. But
she said there was phone calls of us crying that no one gets to know.
Mm-hmm.
But I also wonder if, like, the lawyer has said, yes, the ones when she was in county are able to be obtained. The one when she was in juvie aren't. So maybe that's why she's saying no one gets to know.
But juvie released her records. So it's just odd to me that they wouldn't release the phone calls. And we see that you can't believe everything you hear.
Oh, look how long it took to get Sarah
From
Boone's
Natalie.
calls because they kept getting told no, no, no.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Sarah Boone drives me nuts.
I know. I haven't even listened to her calls. I'm going to be honest. I can't.
Okay. So when that phone call happened.
I agree.
Right. So we're literally in survival mode during that time. And we can't believe that any of this is even happening. And we're really just trying to survive second to second. Okay. But we had so many conversations before those phone calls where we're like, it's okay. We're going to be okay. We're going to get like wrongful conviction people, that, innocence and things. And Mackenzie, she's 17 years old, right? So the first person she thought of was Kim Kardashian because.
Okay, she was not 17 years old, and people keep saying this, and the mother's even saying it.
She was 18. She turned 18 2 days after the accident. She turned 18 in the motherfucking hospital. Quit telling me she was 17 while in custody. She wasn't.
She was 2 days from being 18. So don't say she was 17 so that people think, oh, she was a new 17.
Yeah, no, she was 17.
Not that you get like all this,
She was 17 when the car crash happened, right?
Right.
It's hard not to say accident. She was 17 when that happened, but she was 18 in the hospital recovering from the crash. She wasn't 17 when this bullshit was happening, but she's trying to paint it as that, as if she's 17. A minor. She wasn't anymore. And they tried that bitch as an adult.
Angel Eyes, in my personal opinion, I think so. He was trying to leave her, yes. And I think he didn't know how. I think it was a situation that he may not have known how to deal with. Because even though he was, 3 years older, maybe had more experience in life than her, whatever the case was, I don't think that he knew how to handle someone like her.
I think the situation was bigger than he, even at 20, was prepared for, right?
Mm-hmm.
And leaving her, we saw, isn't easy.
And I mentioned this the other night. How do you go to your mom or your parents or whatever and say, I need help with this? Especially as a male.
Mm-hmm.
To say,
now that I can't speak for, but as a female, it was hard.
It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
So as a male, I'm gonna say it's even harder to
I'm
have to
sure.
go and say, I got this crazy bitch and I don't know what to do. And I am scared of what she might do.
Right.
So that's what I think. I think he
I
was
think so.
trying. I don't
And I
think
think
he
she
knew.
sensed it. I don't think they were like in like I think she sensed it.
Yeah, you know
I
how
don't
you
think
can
he did it
tell?
right there in the car, like
No,
as
no, no,
there,
no.
but you could
Like
tell,
the standoffish,
Mm-hmm.
and I think she probably started realizing that or seeing it.
I mean, she talks about how she woke up at 4 and Dom wasn't there.
Yeah, on that epiphany phone call, and
Yeah.
I think I know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause he wasn't there. Okay, maybe he got up and went to the bathroom, or maybe he went and used the phone. Doesn't mean he wrecked your car while you were driving.
Right.
It still made no sense.
No, but
It was
I
like
think
grasping.
I think she just started sensing that the end was near for their
Yeah.
relationship. Let me
Yeah,
specify.
I think so too. I think so.
That's who helps people. That's who raises awareness, right? So by the time that phone call happened where somebody had told me that it reached, I don't know, I think it was some publication in the overseas, you have to celebrate the wins. You have to celebrate the wins. Otherwise, you're going to get lost in the dark. So when we got that news, I was like, oh my God, it's overseas. Maybe it'll get to her first before, so we don't have to, because I wouldn't even know how to like reach anybody like that to help. So in that moment, I was a little bit thankful, shocked. I can't believe this is happening, that it might get to her before we even figured out how. That's all. It didn't mean disrespect to the families or anything. I would never be disrespectful to the families.
Since we're in
And I
that
do
bucket
want to
now, let me
say
ask you this: what was Dom?
the reason why they mentioned Kim Kardashian is because Kim Kardashian does help people who she believes are wrongly convicted. It wasn't just maybe Kim Kardashian will help me because my name's in the news. It's because Kim has, I mean, aren't they trying to help Scott Peterson right now? Like,
Kim Kardashian had also spoke to Gypsy Rose.
right, she did after Gypsy got out, and now
Mhm.
Kim don't even want nothing to do with her.
Yeah,
And
and
it's my understanding that Kim put out a statement like, "No, I'm not
Mhm.
helping Mackenzie."
Yeah, she has declined to help Mackenzie. She probably regrets helping Gypsy after Gypsy has come out and done the things she's done, like showed her ass, if you will.
Right, but Kim told her post and ghost, and that's the last thing that Gypsy can do.
Mhm. We all heard her disrespect the family, bitching about driving by their house. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
like,
the mom.
oh, it hurts your heart to drive by their house every day.
Yeah.
You know what hurts their heart?
Not having their kids here.
Every freaking holiday, every morning when they wake up and every night when they go to bed. It's just,
Yep.
Some things were said and they remind you every time before you get on the phone. These calls are not private.
And you can't take those words back, bitch, because they're out there, and so many people have
No.
heard them.
And I'm huge on the Aaron Hernandez calls. I just love Aaron Hernandez. He was always very smart. He never said anything that would get him in trouble.
Right.
Maybe with Shay or whatever, when he was on the phone
Yeah.
with the Pouncey brothers. But I'm talking about like legally.
And like like against his victims or anything like that.
Right.
No.
No, it was never.
Never disrespectful like that.
No, he just played it cool and I just don't understand, like, I don't know. I guess if you let your child do whatever they want their whole lives, if you don't raise them, the court system will. I saw that the other day, and that like really that's sticking with me. If you don't raise your kid, the court system will.
Right. And a responsible parent wouldn't want that, right?
Mm-mm.
But I will say at Mackenzie's ripe old age of 17, she's responsible, right? Because there's only so much that can be blamed on parenting. And then the rest does fall on Mackenzie herself, right? Parents can
Right.
only control so much. And I look at it I'm not comparing the two when I say this, but teen pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
You can raise your kids to know that it's not easy and that they should wait until they're older to get pregnant. If they're going to do a grown-up activities, be safe about them. But they're still going to make certain choices that don't fall back on the parent, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they knew that she was an erratic driver. She was doing drugs
And a
and all
car they
these
paid for.
other things. Yeah, right. There were things that they knew about
And their
that,
name. I can't imagine what their insurance is like now.
my God. They only have, never mind, I'm not going to spill the beans, but
Yeah. So
I'm not
I don't
saying
know.
that they're not responsible, but they're not fully responsible, right? Like they shouldn't be imprisoned as well for this.
So my son turned
Responsible.
18 in October and he graduated last week or this week. It's been a really long week. I know, last week. I don't even freaking
Yeah,
know what day
last
it
week.
is, y'all. Yeah,
I
last
got
week.
you. Last week.
So even though he was 18, he still lived with us. We still paid for, I mean, he still lives with us. We still
Right.
paid for everything. And, you know, I would get on his behind and my husband would say, leave him alone. He's 18. And I'm like, hello, this is our last few months
Mhm.
to, even though we've done it his whole life, this is like our last chance
To instill that
to,
responsibility in him.
yes. Because when he leaves, there's nothing we can do.
Right. Right.
So I'm going to take these last months while he's still living in my house and I'm paying his bills and I'm going to get on his ass.
I get that. And I'm not saying that her parents were perfect by any means. There was so
No,
much
I'm
they
not
could have done.
perfect.
She was in high school living with her boyfriend that's almost 3 years older than her.
Mm-hmm.
Hell to the no. I would not have gotten away with that. Oh,
No,
no,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Mm-mm.
No, ma'am.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
So, I'm not saying that they were perfect. I'm not perfect, but I like to think I'm doing a better job than the Shirillas.
Lonnie, this freaking insurance in Louisiana between homeowners, flood insurance, and car insurance is
Ew, you
freaking
have to
killing
have
me.
flood too.
I don't have to, but
Oh,
you have
I
to
mean, where
living in
yeah,
Louisiana.
no, I get it. And yeah, just my wind was ridiculous one year. Like
Mm-hmm.
wind and hail or some extra bullshit tack on that I had. Yeah, Louisiana insurance is stupid high.
We built this house 8.5 years ago, and I pulled up all my old homeowners bills, my insurance. It has more than doubled in 8 years.
Oh, I believe that,
Mm-hmm.
especially after those 2 hurricanes that we got back to back. Well, my area got hit more, I believe, back to back
Yeah.
in 2020. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
I had just bought a house. Just bought a house. Had to get my roof replaced.
Yeah, it is not cheap to live in Louisiana.
Mm-mm.
It's killing us. It
And I
really
live
is.
where all our houses are up on piers.
I live very north of where I live in a nice not in a nice area, in a good area that should not get hit by storms, and I am still paying
Oh
at the
yeah.
ass.
I mean, shit. Even on our electric bill, we're still paying for storm recovery from storms
Katrina.
before we even had our own electric bill.
And I am not in a flood zone, but when I tell you my freaking flood insurance is so high, every year it goes up.
Mm-hmm. Because
I'm
they
north of
rezone it
I-12, Angel Eyes.
every
I'll
couple
say that.
years. I am not.
I am north of I-12 now.
I'm south of I-10.
And our insurance and our taxes. Oh my God. Just don't move to Louisiana. If
No.
you're thinking about it, don't do it.
Especially if you have kids, we're the lowest.
Yeah, like our school. Like, did you hear us the other night? Like clapping to see how many freaking syllables was
And
in a
we
word.
still
Don't
got it
move here.
wrong. Oh, we still got it wrong. Blame that shit on Louisiana public schools.
Yeah, public schools. I mean, the prisons are better than our public schools. So,
Oh, speaking of us clapping, she never actually tells us what she did say.
No, she doesn't. She
She told us
beats
the
around the bush.
CZZer is
CZZ.
too many Z's, but she never tells us what she actually said when she said she was gonna. I'll be damned. She
I
tricked me.
remember.
I just remembered that.
Yeah. So I remember being a kid and my friends used to talk Pig Latin.
See, we didn't.
And I'm like, that's stupid. Why would I waste my time trying to learn what y'all saying? Just say whatever y'all want. I don't care. My
Right.
grandparents spoke French in front of me.
Mine too. Mine
Cajun
spoke Cajun
French
French.
all
Yep.
the time. So I
I
didn't
only
need
picked
something
up on the
else.
bad words.
Yeah.
They did it when they didn't want us knowing what they were
Mhm.
talking about us. Like,
Mhm. Or they were talking about, somebody else in the family and they didn't want you to know
mhm.
because you would say, you know what my grandma said?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I miss that.
Me too.
Like,
Because nobody
Oh my
does
God, you can't do
anymore.
this to me.
I'm just, I think it's only right, that, you're talking about how, you wasn't laughing. So why don't you tell us about Dom and how you feel about Dom? This is your chance. If take your time, if you want,
I can't talk about them.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm in so much pain. I feel so bad for them.
And that's understandable. That's
That's very.
understandable.
Go ahead, Kev, take it away.
I mean, when you lay down that phone call and how your reaction was, I can understand that. I mean, it was just, it's like screaming from the rooftops and somebody finally heard it, and I get that. I mean, I could see, your emotion of it's getting out there, Mackenzie. Other people are listening, other people are chiming in. And I wouldn't say that would be, I wouldn't say that would be a negative reaction.
The other thing too that people don't understand is like grief and trauma, and we have such bad PTSD. It's like this, right? So
Okay,
there were
stop.
moments when we were mad.
I don't know if anybody else watched AG Tactical react to this, and I only heard bits and pieces of it. But he said, "What is this bitch doing other than wiping skin?
Mhm.
Because she ain't wiping no tears. She turned that shit right off. And she has PTSD. How do you think the victims' families feel? You don't think that Dom and Davion's family has PTSD because of your daughter's actions, but you have PTSD. Please tell us. Tell us how you have PTSD.
She wakes up every morning and she's like, my daughter's in prison. I got to send her more money.
And she can call me.
Yeah, she's probably having somebody, munch on her carpet.
Cash
Whatever,
app,
'cause,
cash app me
um,
$20 here and there. Like, she's
and it's going to get out in the
running her
public.
books.
But do you know what they wake up? They're going to wake up for the rest of their lives because maybe Mackenzie will come home one day. I don't know. But they wake up every day for the rest of their lives, and every freaking Christmas, every Thanksgiving, every day, they're going to wake up and they're like, that's it.
Right. Unfortunately, there is the chance that Mackenzie can get out and
And she's
have a
filed
family
another
one day.
appeal. Yeah, if she gets out on that first run, on that first try, she's young
Right.
enough to still have a family. And I don't know how many years they make them wait till they can go again for.
So because she was 17 when her crime happened, even though they tried her as an adult, at 15 years, she can appear before the parole board.
Right.
And then every 5 after that, the max that they can extend it is
okay.
another 5 because of her age at the crime. That has
Okay.
nothing to do with
5
her
is
being
kinda
tried as
long.
an adult. Right. So then she'll, it'll be 20. Then she'll have been
Okay.
in for 25 years. But still, she's got 11 left, right?
No, she's got a less than 10 or right at 10.
Right at 10. Okay.
Mhm.
I don't know what year it is apparently. So if I add 10 years to my age,
Or maybe right at 11. You're right.
10, 11, okay.
Yeah.
If I had 10, 11 years to my age, women are still having children then.
Yeah. Mhm.
And this
She's
girl's
gotta
way
find an
younger than
idiot
me.
stupid enough, though.
Gypsy did. She found 2.
Yeah, true. True.
You know, and I bet Ken sleeps with one eye open. So
Oh, he better. And we talked earlier and we were like, oh, I'm not, I'm saving this call. But then another one came out after that. And she immediately starts talking about writing a book. And Natalie's like, start writing your book right now.
what's her book going to be about, though? Because she can't include the crimes in it because she can't profit off of that in Ohio.
Right. So, and what
like she could
I
come out
don't
and
remember
become
what
an author.
happened. Like, what are you going to talk about?
Right. She could come out and become an author and have a pen name, but never write about her life and
I don't know. You
the
hear these phone
incident.
calls?
But what
Dom's
is
law? Yes.
Yes. That's for the social media aspect of it.
So much
that
more
she
needs
can't
to be
profit.
added and needs to be added to different states. Look at Gypsy Rose.
Mm-hmm.
It is wild what she's doing right now.
No one would know that little whore if she hadn't killed her mom.
Mm-hmm. And kids love her.
Yeah.
I saw she went to one of the parades in Metairie for Mardi Gras, and I mean and she was in New Orleans on Bourbon Street. So 2 different parades, and people could not leave her alone. They were so excited. And it was the younger
ones
crowd.
Are her target audience.
I mean, I'd see her. I'd want to punch her in her face.
Same.
But it's the younger kids who get so excited. They just love her. And that's scary.
But there is a lot of people who still don't believe that that still believe that she was abused. So there's always going to be people that support one side or the other, right?
I mean, there's still people that support Wade Wilson.
Mm-hmm. There were people that supported Charles Manson.
Yeah. Does Mackenzie want to be famous? Mrs. Bean has always wanted to be famous. That was her plan, to be a model and to...
That's what she was trying to do.
An influencer. And so if she were to get the chance to get out, let's say in 10 years and I'm sure influencing is going to be even different and bigger then.
Right. We can't even
She's
imagine
taking
what the
that chance.
Going to be like.
And she's doing it without Dom's law that Dom's sister is trying it. They are going to work it out and hopefully have things signed and have it passed. And they are working kind of fast on it because she has filed an appeal again. That appeal's still out there. She still has the chance.
Let's be for real. The only reason we don't know if they would have denied her first appeal, it was late.
One day because of leap year.
Because of leap year, my ass.
How freaking amazing is that?
How do you throw leap year in unless it happened in February?
I don't know, but I think it's great.
That was the stupidest excuse I ever heard.
One day
they tried
late.
to appeal the appeal rejection because of that. Yeah.
Right. All right, let's see what else she's got to say.
Okay.
About what was happening. And that's okay. I say to everybody's allowed to feel how they feel. We are too. We're just like everybody else. Right. So some of us were mad. When after the car accident happened, we spent every day with the families. Well, I try to get in touch with the
So let's stay there for a second, right there. Let's. I think that's something that I haven't heard much of that from you anyway. So when the accident happens and nobody, and Natalie gets out Mackenzie gets out the hospital and things like that and is on the mend. Everybody's hanging out and everybody's celebrating Dom and trying to get not over this, but trying to cope with this. Everybody's together. Everybody's together at that point.
Yeah. So we spent every day together, every day. The second we got home from the hospital, she wanted to go to the memorial and stuff. We were there every day, leaving flowers.
So, I'm going to pull this comment up right here because, like I said, I want to talk to the people.
Oh.
My take on this whole tragedy, right? R.I.P. Dom and R.I.P. Damien. And prayers to
it's not his name.
Mackenzie doing time. My thing is the juvenile mindset. What's the criteria? To open up dialogue about what's happening to the kids out there. Social media, how things start interfering with these kids' minds. That's what we're talking about. We also talk about Eddie O'Brien in 1995, a kid that did 30 years that was tried as an adult and should have he been tried as a juvenile. So everything is all together as one. But this right here is, you know, of course it's a jab as usual, because that's what you get in live streams. It says sad JFK is allowing her to lie on his platform. How do you feel when
Well,
people
that's
say
because
that you're
she
lying?
is.
Like and what did the social media onslaught? What does that feel like? If you could describe it.
It's hard because it's just hard because we're being judged on like if you knew me, like they don't know me, they don't know us, we have not spent time together, right? So how would you like it if they took and picked your worst moments and compiled it into a little segment for you to be judged on? That's not who you are. That's not who you are.
But do you think that Mackenzie made a big mistake from trying to go to the internet to clear her name, and it kind of backfired on her?
Oh, you mean her Instagram post?
Like, well,
which one?
Like, well, she was heavy into the internet, or age, like, you know, whatever it is. You tell me about
Just
it.
being so much on the internet after the accident and not like
letting it breathe, so to speak. Like, and then it kind of backfired on her.
What parts after the accident?
The time being after the accident, after she got better, or being in her hospital bed, being on the internet, going live, you know, talking about things, just all that time after the accident.
And then all of a sudden people hear a different version of the story saying that she drove and staked it out and this and that, and there's no remorse. And, you know, and that now all of a sudden the internet starts turning, right? Like, did you know she was on the internet like that? And how did you feel? And how do you feel about her internet use? Was that an issue with you, or did you just let her do whatever she wanted?
Well, after the accident, I mean, there are people that care about her and wanted to see how she was doing, right? So she posted those videos of herself laying in the bed or whatever for her family and people that care about her. So I didn't have a problem with that part.
Well, what about
those parts?
Yeah, I think, is that what you're saying, Jay Bro? You want to elaborate a little bit more?
No, just like how she just, all right, for instance, how I know when we talked, you told her to go have fun, which is understandable. You don't want to drown yourself in the sorrow and whatever.
Yeah.
I've been there. I get that.
Oh, that's you. I was talking to. Hi.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
So, like, for instance, the lives when she was getting dressed for Halloween, normal, and then, you know, how she did her TikTok videos and was still, like, trying to be a celebrity out there. And I think that's why a lot of people.
What they were doing, what those kids were doing was so sweet. And it was turned around I feel so bad for them. Okay. Because what they did was, so Mackenzie's home from the hospital and she's laying in bed, immobilized. Remember, because she broke everything, right? Including her spine, or she got her C1. I can't even believe she can even walk, right? So she was laying in bed for 3 months.
She broke everything. But she was laying in bed, filming herself with one hand. Wiggling.
She was immobile for 3 months and then all of a sudden could walk and party for Halloween. That's crazy.
Yeah. Jay,
also,
Dom's mom's worst moment was filmed and has been shared and shared and shared again.
Yep. And
she probably doesn't even remember that moment.
No, probably not. And I hope to God she does not ever watch it.
I hope she doesn't watch it, but everybody else has.
Right.
And I hope other people don't even have to feel that. Hey, Jen.
No, I would never
go
wish
through
that
that
on anybody. I think I listened to the guys say that this morning when I listened to theirs.
Also, I want to tell, before I forget, I want to tell everybody to go. Divine, Davion's sister, has I messaged her earlier and I said I would not share her video unless she told me it was okay, and I hadn't heard back from her by the time we had gotten online. She does have a TikTok. She is the sweetest little girl. I say little girl, but she's of age and stuff.
Yeah.
The thing is, she has sat in her car and cried.
Mm-hmm.
And she has said that was the only person, her brother was the only person she had steady in her life since she was born. Because they were in foster care and they were adopted.
Yep. He's been there since day one for her.
Jen, I was thinking earlier, not only that, but she should have to freaking look at the autopsy photos.
Yes,
she should have
to recap the whole crime once a week or so. I think that's what Corrupt was saying whenever I listened to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And move away from the parents. Because they don't want to see them. Just like they don't want to pass by Dom's house because it's heartbreaking or it pisses them off.
But let me just say, she also, if she does get out, she shouldn't be able to leave Ohio. so that
Right,
if
because if she goes
Dom's
someplace,
law
hmm
passes, she's stuck with it.
right,
Because you get what I'm not
hmm
trying to say.
yep,
That's what I would worry about because this is going to be at the state level first. Things like this never go federally; they leave it up to each state.
right.
Like all the parents moving out of Tennessee now, so that they can monetize off of their kids on the internet.
Unable to walk, unable to do anything. The whole time scrolling, looking at his pictures, his music, memories.
She says that, and I'm going back to this real quick, and then we can move on because I know we've already been live for like an hour and a half. That everything was broken, and she laid in bed for months. So the accident happened July 31st, right?
Correct.
I'm pretty sure that's the day.
Yep.
So July, August.
You know
It
what?
wasn't
3
even 2
months
months later. It wasn't even 2 months later, and she was at a concert.
in a wheelchair.
Yeah. So,
And 3 months is exactly Halloween. Go figure.
right. So if you're that hurt and everything was broken, everything was broken.
Everything was broken.
How are you at a concert 2 months later?
And at Dom's birthday party,
I broke my foot
right?
once. I've actually broken both feet at different times, and I've broken one several times. And even in 2 months, I'm still not able to go places like a concert or like a nightclub and stuff. Not that I do that anymore, but still, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not
Right.
healed,
Right.
just like a broken foot.
Understandable.
Okay, so that's what I'm trying to
Um,
say. So how in the hell was everything broken?
and when
And
did she get arrested?
November something?
Okay.
It was in November.
I had to laugh to myself watching her walk because that leg was not fully healed.
She probably if she's well, they used to go get her from the juvenile center and bring her to therapy and stuff. Which she's very lucky they did that because I would think
Mhm.
most places don't do that. So that in itself was pretty freaking good.
Right. That's like a little field trip.
Mhm.
But yeah, in
And
her
you know
arrest
what, Jay?
video, when they're putting her in the tank, like she's
If
having
the
trouble with
weather
that leg.
changes, I still can't walk good on my feet because
I know.
it just hurts.
Oh, and it's been crappy weather for the last week. You doing okay?
I hope Mackenzie feels the same pain.
Of course. Because you know what? It gets
Like
really
living.
cold up there, and they don't have
Mhm.
heaters in that prison.
That's right. Nor do they have air conditioning.
In this darkness, right? So by the time she was able to get up and like kind of start to move around, I would be like, honey, it's okay to be sad. It's always okay to be sad. We just can't live there, right? We just can't live there. So I wanted her to go. Her friend Rosie was in college and wanted her to come for the weekend, right? So I was like, you need to get up, change the scenery, get off your phone, go be with your friends, and go get out of your head, right? Go get out of your head. So her friends took a moment for them to go do something, and actually the whole thing what they did was in honor of Dom and Davion, right? Which was super sweet. So they turned that moment of hanging out together, and they brought Dom and Davion with them too, which was very sweet. So they were all kind of together that weekend, in a way, which was very sweet.
Let me ask you this. I got another comment pulled up here, right? It says
Okay.
she laughed after victim impact statements. Now, I don't know who the person's talking about. Is she talking about
Me?
I don't know if she's talking about you or she's talking about Mackenzie. Do you know anything about that? Does anybody know anything about that? Who is
She
this
didn't
comment
laugh.
talking about? No. So that's not a thing.
No. Well, that's on video. You could even see it.
Okay. Yeah. So now she's in this facility right now, and what happened with this appeal being denied? Can you speak to that? One day, what was that all about, and how did that happen?
Well,
They missed
we're
it by
in the
1 day.
process of, right. So we're in the process of that too, and I have a huge problem with that. And actually, if at some point, I'm going to try to figure out. I don't know anything about the legal world or law world. Like none of us have ever been in trouble with any kind of law, so I don't understand how this side of the world works. But I don't understand how a defendant could be penalized for a lawyer's mistake, especially missing a deadline. Like, how is that the defendant's fault? Like, this whole post-conviction, all of her truth, which would prove that it wasn't intentional, lives and dies in this document that's now they're saying is a day late. I don't think that that's right. But so that's. Do you think
that Mackenzie, right now that you see her going through all this, right? Do you think Mackenzie has any type of mental issue at all? Like that, now that you see, like, your personal look, I know you're her mom's and you got to stick up for her, but do you think that she should be evaluated? You think there's a misdiagnosis somewhere?
I think she's maybe, well, ADHD, ADD, but nothing more, nothing, anxiety, like all of that. There's nothing. No. Okay. She's been in therapy. That's what I mean. Like, she's been in therapy. Like, yeah.
Right. So
she looks so confused. Like, no, what are you talking about?
I forget how they say it. Psychopaths are born, sociopaths are made, or the other way around.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
Now, what about the weed? She was smoking a hell of a lot of weed, man. And the weed nowadays, man.
Wait, I want to go back to that behavioral thing one more time too.
Go ahead, whatever you want.
In the juvenile facility, she was also talking to a therapist in there as well, who has all those letters at the back of her name. And if there was something there, she would have been.
So okay, cool. So when she was in the juvenile facility, doctors came in and she was open to them and talked to them.
Yeah, but the mental health.
So do you have that? If you have that paperwork where a doctor explains her mindset, I mean, this is the type of stuff that should be released in that space of time, especially at.
Yeah, I'm sorry. She did speak at the trial. There was a letter they read at the trial. She spoke on her behalf.
No, what the big one, that not the juvenile transfer hearing, the one that she got 15, like, right? So what was that letter like? What did she say?
Well, I can't remember word for word, but her behavior was great. She was like, I'm probably going to get ripped on for saying this, but she was like a star student. I don't know how else to say it. So she did all the programming. She was the top of her class in this culinary class that she was in.
In DYS.
Yeah.
So she was thriving in DYS in juvenile detention, you say?
That's right.
So that's why I'm here, because I'm trying to understand what is the criteria of juvenile being tried as a juvenile.
I don't know.
Because if she's doing good and under 25, her brain's not developed, and they could put her in these type of settings, and she can thrive. Maybe she can work her way out, reset her brain a little bit, and navigate herself away from this. But once you throw it in the jail, I mean, I can only assume you're going to adjust it. You know, you got to adjust. It's not home. You got to adjust. It's a whole different, especially state prisons. It seems, and I mean this with all due respect, Natalie, it seems like you don't know anything about the law out there in Ohio. Like, you're just learning now on the fly, which was their advantage for sure.
I know. That's why, like, I don't know. I'm the most boring person you can think of. Like, I crochet and watch Marvel movies. Like, I don't know this world. I don't want to. I'm glad I don't. And I also hate that I don't know, because they are taking advantage. Well, not taking advantage. Like, I feel like that's why I need to rely on legal counsel, because I don't know. Like, what can I do? What are all the things I can do? What should I be doing? What's next? Like, what should I be looking for? What should I watch out for? Right? Because I don't know.
So what, why didn't they, again, to Kevin Kev's point, why didn't they did they have the doctor testify about the pots? They didn't let that in?
You mean at the trial or the bind over?
At the trial, and at the bind over.
No, remember, right after the trial was over, he didn't even give the judge her diagnosis for some reason. So,
and whose idea was it to go to a bench trial? And when they said go to the bench trial, how was that message delivered to you? Like, what did the lawyer say? Like, we're better off going to a bench trial? Like, what was how did that conversation go?
That's a good question. So the first day of the trial, we were all there. And it was, I think, like 8 o'clock in the morning, and we're all looking at each other like, what is it? Is it a bench trial? Is it a jury trial? Like, what is it? Like, do we know? We still didn't know. And then we found out that it was going to be a bench trial. And we're like, oh my gosh. So that was surprising, because I feel like we maybe should have known before that. But sorry, my bell is ringing. And then I found out months after she was at Marysville that she wanted a jury trial. And
who wanted the jury trial?
Mackenzie. No, so that's where.
Oh shit.
Okay, I thought
his name was Jim,
though,
and he wasn't a public defender. He had said that when you're in the juvenile facility,
she signed off on that.
What's it called?
That's what I had, but
And my thing is yes, her parents are having to pay for this lawyer, right? But the lawyer isn't working for the Shirillas. No. The lawyer is working for Mackenzie. Mackenzie wanted that bench trial because she thought she would have a better chance at convincing that judge that she didn't do this.
Mm-hmm. So basically what that was going to pop up and say is that she signed for that bench trial. She knew she was having a bench trial.
Yeah, she didn't tell her parents, but again, she's 18 years old. She didn't have to.
Right. I mean, they may have been paying for that attorney.
But that attorney worked for Mackenzie.
Right. And she didn't know it. She didn't care as long as, and the calls that have come out, she is just worried about, like, you know, I don't even know where I was. I lost the thing because I touched the wrong thing. I think this is when she gets all
Me?
Is that true or not true? Did you ever tell Mackenzie in a jail phone calls that she should
I was torn. I'm torn on the whole bench trial thing personally because a judge should know the law, right? A judge should know the charges and the law and what these things mean and what and the beyond a reasonable doubt and all this other, they should know and stuff. But on the other hand,
And you don't. I'll tell you this: after this interview, and I don't mean to cut you off, right? But I just, after hearing this interview, it's plain to see, if you guys don't see it, hear it from the horse's mouth. It doesn't look like, and I mean this with all due respect, knows much about the law. So if you're from the outside looking in, you would think just put it to a judge. The judge can see through the bullshit.
I know.
So to speak. Yeah. I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
We as people of a community, we put our
time in, because like right now, the guy Eddie that we know, he's a lifer. He's got 30 years in the last couple of years. He finally got transferred to a medium and got.
So they go on and on. And what happened is, and I want to Skate Girl 2017, Shirilla the Killer, all of them, they hooked me up with incident reports. It is 50 something, almost 60 something pages.
Okay.
And instead of going over them, because I want to get to those phone calls too, Mackenzie was not good while she was in juvie. Like she was a little jerk. And there's almost between January 2023 through September 2023, there are approximately 20 incident reports.
Shut up.
That's not even 12 months.
No.
And she was refusing to eat the meat because she said it was 25-cent meat, and she would constantly, I'm just going to go through them real quick, that she was constantly threatening everyone that she was going to write grievances and have them lose their job.
That's why when she couldn't get her tablet, Natalie kept saying, "Don't write a grievance about this. Don't write a grievance about this."
Well, she really liked doing that in juvie. Yeah, pregame for the Mean Girls. She just
her attitude showed. She showed her ass in there.
I was thinking this yesterday, but today, you might have a chance to still be tried as a minor, right? They fighting to try you as an adult. Wouldn't you go in there, sit down, and shut up?
Yeah.
And just hope for the best? Or do you
exactly?
Or B, do you go in and act like a complete asshole
and prove that you think you're an adult?
Yeah. And that you just can't follow the rules. Well, she did B. So do I feel no? I mean, like she, something in the gym, like they couldn't even hang out in the gym because somebody's being a butthole. And I know I use the word butthole all the time. I saw this. She always has a pencil. They keep telling her you cannot have a pencil. You cannot carry a pencil. What does Mackenzie do? She always got a pencil with her.
She thinks the rules didn't apply to her.
Now, some people did stand up to her and was like, somebody slapped her on the back of the neck. High five to whoever did that. When they looked through her cell and she's got number 2 cubic box, a red and white Santa hat, 2 pencils, a wooden Christmas tree, 2 plastic rings, 36 all pastels in a box, 4 pairs of socks, 28 books.
What?
28 books. I didn't even think she could really read that well.
It's probably all that girl did whenever,
Yeah,
I
Jen,
mean,
she did some ugly things, but you go to the juvenile detention center. They're trying to charge you as an adult. So
I would go
in
in and
my
act like a
mind,
motherfucking kid.
I would have been like, I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna do everything I'm supposed to do, and I'm not gonna talk back to anybody. I'm gonna eat the 25-cent meat, you know?
And I'll talk in gibberish on the phone to my mom and bitch to her about it. But
Well, somebody did threaten to beat her ass over that. They said if they heard her talking like that again, they were gonna beat her ass. I can't remember if it was in the juvenile or then they get in
we'll
a
have to
fight one
cover
day
those another
because
night.
yeah, somebody's cards got flipped and Resident Shirilla said, "You acting like I won't slap the fuck out of you."
In
Girl,
juvie?
yeah, you better sit down. And then the manager was advised, expectations were given to the residents, and Shirilla was also threatened to hit so and so with a broom.
Also,
Ma'am,
the resident is a weird way to like. I guess
I
in
don't know
juvie
who
they're not inmate.
yeah, they call them residents in juvenile, I guess. There was always verbal stuff, and we can because sometimes the handwriting is so bad that would add um time to go through it. Usually I try to write them out before, and I did not have time
I
to
can
do that
help.
today.
I can help you one day because I can read doctor handwriting really well too. Because I worked for a doctor that used to handwrite in his
Um,
shorts. So
oh, and Mackenzie was talking shit about somebody saying that they didn't deserve to go home.
oh my
That girl was gonna beat
god.
her ass. I
Oh,
know,
Mackenzie got what she.
ma'am, ma'am.
Don't spit too high.
You know how she gets aggravated with the crazy lady and her
Yes, the one
going,
next to
ma'am,
her, ma'am.
ma'am.
Mm.
Um.
Oh, that girl
Oh, and
was
she
not
carries
behaved.
around phone books with her, even though she's told she can't travel with her phone books. Juven
What?
yeah, like she had chewed gum stuck to her wall because she was chewing gum and sticking it on the wall.
Oh, she is the prison version of Regina George. If I ever,
Mm-hmm.
mm-mm.
Um. Oh, somebody said she's speaking in codes on the phone.
Oh, they told on her.
Mm-hmm. I would think that
Good.
you couldn't do that, but I mean, I don't know.
No, you're not supposed to. They try and figure out what you're talking about.
So they had
They'll
some
try and
people
figure
threatening.
out code and messages. Like
Jen, it's that movie,
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls. I was gonna say, with the Mean Girls.
That was
Um.
Rachel McAdams. Rachel McAdams played Regina George.
She tried to manipulate the residents into turning she is, I mean, and it wasn't even a full 12 months. It was 9 months,
Girl,
and she showed her ass.
sit down and like mind your P's and Q's. Goddamn. And she said that they had to sit down all the time in juvie anyways. They couldn't move around.
Yeah, so I've seen there's also several that say, Mackenzie would get threatened by other residents. And then
Probably
this
put
one
him
is in
out.
July, and it says, "Resident Mackenzie Shirilla was told she will get beat up next."
And then she called her mom all scared.
And on July 12th, resident whatever threatened resident Mackenzie Shirilla and stated she was going to smack the fuck out of her on Friday before she leaves to go home.
The girl said, I know when I'm leaving. Hold on.
You wait till Friday, bitch.
They ain't had no extra time to my sentence.
Um, She said, I'm gonna throw a pin at you and I'm gonna beat your ass. So yeah, it was always
Oh my God, that I'm sorry. That would be hilarious to read.
yeah. So it's she did
So
not
she did
go and behave herself.
no, just like her mom said she didn't get in trouble in school, and then here we are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The concert, she's like, oh, Dom was supposed to go with them and blah blah blah. The concert was September 17th, and they asked her, damn it, I know that I probably passed it up or I did something that screwed it up. And I had it in here, and basically what they asked her is like, so this concert was in October, right? And she's like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. The concert was September 17th. The one
Right.
where
The
they're
concert
wheeling.
was in September. The Halloween party was in October.
Right. But she says that the concert's in October. So she didn't even know that wasn't even truthful. Does she know? I don't know. But it
Probably
was
not.
September 17th.
Probably
And
not. We probably know more than she does about her daughter.
yeah, probably so. Oh, and then she also, just to give y'all a rundown on what else they talk about in the interview, that they were at a point in their life where she was trying to help them and she was enjoying moving them to the next level of their relationship because they were going to, live together. Like she helped them plant a garden
Yeah,
and
she
she was
wasn't just
enjoying all that.
living, she was living
Ma'am,
here and there.
ma'am, your daughter was 17. She
She
wasn't
needs to not
even,
be worrying about the next stage in her relationship.
yeah. Why were you worrying about moving
And
them to the
also
next
stay
stage?
out of your kids' relationship like that if you think that they're grown up enough.
Exactly. That was strange to me.
Like, oh, now she wants to parent?
Right. She was enjoying moving them to the next level because they were,
No, she was
ma'am,
meddling.
she was only 17. I personally want my kids to live at home as long as they want to. They definitely not moving out at 17.
Not to live with no boy.
No. No.
I don't care how good of a kid he is. Not on my watch. Not while the state says that you are my responsibility.
Exactly. So this was just another example of how her parents, I believe, allegedly failed her.
Oh, absolutely.
And she is where she is. If I don't think she'll get out in the 15 year
I don't
year
think so
mark
either.
because
I
she
mean,
can't
not with the
behave
amount
herself.
of DRs that she's already getting.
And we've seen some really gross DRs that she has from the
And I mean,
prison.
also, you have to sit in front of the parole board and admit your guilt. Am I wrong? I don't know. I've never been to
They want
parole.
you to. They want to know what happened. Do you feel remorse or and I
You
don't
think
hear
she would have
that.
shown that in the interview with Netflix, but I didn't even get that.
She said, "Is that good?"
I didn't
That's
want to
all.
I didn't want to do too much.
Yeah, I don't want to sound crazy. Ma'am, you act crazy. Ma'am.
You think she would have turned on some waterfall tears and like cuz parole's going to bring that up. I'm sorry.
So this is a question I have. No, I don't think she'll get first parole. Do you think, and everybody in the chat too, I want to know what y'all think. Had she and Natalie and the dad just sat quietly and not been, look at me, even before she was arrested, and now that she's in prison and still like, because she is like all over these men that are contacting her. If you're listening to the calls that were released today,
No, I haven't listened to
she's
those
super
today.
excited about some men
I'm going to
contacting her.
give that some
But
listen.
let's say that she would have just sat down and shut up.
I don't know that they would have even looked into it because remember, the families felt it was an accident at first.
Yeah.
I don't know that much of an investigation would have gone on.
I think even if they did an investigation, even if she was in prison, had she just still sat down and shut up?
I think she would have gotten vehicular.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Or she would get out on first, 15 years, you killed 2
Yeah,
people, accident or
that's
not.
low. That's not a lot of time. I'm sorry.
No.
For 2 lives taken.
Right. But every phone call, every DR, everything's going to come up.
Yeah. I think if
And
she would have just sat down, stayed
and looking
quiet.
Natalie in the face when they ask her, "So what is she doing? Is she taking classes? Is she taking courses?" And she's like,
When she can.
"When she can, ma'am. That's not real.
Ma'am, she didn't behave enough to stay in the house with the
It's
bead
not
room.
believable."
She got out. They kicked her out of that housing because she wasn't behaving.
I think she's gonna.
Because she stole from the bead room.
I think Mackenzie is going to fall into living in the prison lifestyle.
Oh, she's going to be institutionalized by those
I
15 and it'll be too much.
Yeah, I think this is her life. Like she's not leaving, because she's never going to be able to behave enough. That's just what I think.
Yeah, I agree. And Jen,
Um,
I think that house was full of 4 teenage girls, but that dad likes to talk and run his mouth and gossip
and so Natalie also says that her whole family speaks the corny
I
language.
think she means like her side of the family.
Yeah, her like her parents and stuff. They
Mhm.
all did.
So
Which
what
is
is she?
I don't know.
Romanian? Gypsy? It's not Romanian. What is it?
They like
Ro-
work at the carnival. I thought. I don't know. I don't know.
Rom- what are the gypsies? Justify don't know, I'm sure. Rom It's not Romanian, but it's something the word's similar to that.
Maybe. I don't know. Her maiden name's Ford. That's not
That's why
really.
Mackenzie's middle name is Ford.
Yes.
Weird. I wondered that.
It's Natalie Shannon Ford.
And it's Mackenzie Ford Shirilla. I wondered why Ford was her middle name. Poor
And
thing.
I'll tell you how strange this is. About a year ago, Mackenzie's little sister, she's of age now, changed her middle name from Marie to Mary Lou.
Mary Lou?
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
That's weird.
Well, she's already going gay for this day. She's already had confrontations with the broads in there. She'll definitely catch more charges in 15 years. Absolutely. I don't see her leaving. Roman gypsies would slice her up if they spoke that in front of real gypsies. It's just so weird. I wouldn't want to, I don't know. I wouldn't want to teach my daughter how to secretly talk in front of people.
No. No, I mean, I don't think
If we
it was
spoke a
ever.
different language, like
That's
Cajun
one
French
thing.
still, because
Right.
that's something that my family spoke, and unfortunately, the kids, myself included, we didn't want to learn it.
No, we didn't.
And they didn't teach it in schools. They taught a different
They
French.
taught regular. They taught French as if we were going to fucking France.
Mm-hmm. And that is not what, our family knew or spoke. And maybe our parents or our grandparents didn't want us to know because they wanted to keep talking about everybody.
I mean, I don't know about you, but my parents barely knew it enough to have a conversation. I only heard my grandparents.
My
speak it.
grandparents were huge with it.
And that's when they were talking about somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Or us.
Or about how
But
bad we were.
that died.
Yeah, that's
There
so
are
sad.
some people that still do.
I do know a few people my age and 30s, 40s that still speak it. because their parents spoke it like really
Mhm.
heavily. But my parents, I think I understood more than they did as they got older and weren't living with their parents. It was like because I stayed with my
Right. We were
grandparents.
there during the day. Mhm.
The summers. Yep.
Yep. Same. But I only picked up on the bad words most of the time. One
Oh,
time
I
my
used
grandma called me something and I said, I don't remember. She called me jaloux. And I said, what that means. And she said, pretty girl. It means jealous. It
Oh
means
my
jealous.
god.
They called me jealous, but
We try to teach our kids like words every now and then, me and my husband, but they don't have no interest. Just like we didn't.
no. I mean, mine knows like pouillon.
Mm-hmm.
I use pauvre bête a lot, but I mean, I find I don't even use the same words as
No.
much as I did whenever I was younger because other people don't understand it either, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of like, what are you talking about? You say things in front of people.
And the thing is like our grandparents, they would get in trouble for speaking it. So of course it died off. You know, they got in trouble as kids for speaking it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
I miss those days.
me too. To go back
But
to the early 90s. Damn.
yeah.
You know, back when we didn't have cell phones on our bicycles.
Yeah, like Mackenzie, because she had to have
Mackenzie.
one because she couldn't ask the parent to use their phone to call Natalie. So we were going to go over all the juvenile incident reports, and I told y'all what they were. She's a butthole. Like she was just being, a little jerk the whole time she was there. And we will go over them one night. That was our plan tonight. But the
We
interview
talk a
was
lot.
like, we talk a lot, and the interview was like 2 hours long. And you remember I had cut out like 15, 20
And you
minutes
sped
of
it
it,
up.
and I sped it up. But I wanted to touch on some of the things that Natalie said that weren't necessarily true.
Right. You did a
And
really good job at putting that together.
I think we kind of did that, for the most part. There's probably some other things in there that I didn't catch.
Oh, I'm
But
sure. If I listened to it again, I'm sure I'd catch something different.
mhm. So we had 2 hours. I think we can wrap it up.
We
Could you
always say we're not
imagine
going to be
raising a
that
kid like
long.
Mackenzie? It's bothersome to me that they were absolutely okay with her behavior. You know, I'm telling you, sometimes my mom will say the people who were the hardest on me, my mom and my dad were like, "You're so hard on your kids." And I'm like, y'all got freaking nerve. But I know I see their potential.
They see their grandchildren through a different lens too.
Oh, yeah. Um, so I hold them up to that standard, and I think,
hmm
now I'm gonna keep doing it. So I'm not raising little Mackenzies to run around.
Hell no.
Mm-mm. No,
I'll
because
do
remember,
everything in my
if you don't
power.
raise them, the court system will.
Look, we were laying down to go to bed the other night, and she saw a picture of Mackenzie as I was scrolling YouTube or something. She was like, "Who is that?" I was like, "Oh, let me tell you. Let me tell you about her. I'm gonna scare it right into you right now."
And remember, we all need to talk to our kids. If we have kids, even if they're like in their early 20s, hey, if you have some kind of crazy bitch, don't be afraid to come to us and say,
Right.
I don't know how to get
Don't
like,
feel like you can't come to us,
yeah,
no
and
matter
I
what your
need
age
help getting
is.
rid of this. Or
Yeah.
I need help not like getting rid of a body. But then again,
No,
call
I
me.
mean,
Um
right. We'll figure it out, but
yeah, but not
I need
don't be
help getting
afraid to
out.
say I don't
Yeah.
know how to get out of this.
hmm
Because it can turn bad. And that's like I think a huge takeaway from all of this.
And that's the thing, people,
And I'm not saying that Dom didn't have anybody to go to. Maybe he did or whatever, but he could have
or he
also
didn't feel,
been
he didn't feel comfortable.
yeah.
We don't know. We don't know if that's why Davion was in the car. He thought that it would like keep the situation. We don't know.
I don't nobody will ever know.
Mm-mm.
It's really sad. But I think we'll be back with like, the incident reports. We'll review some calls because some of them are
Yes, I want to do some of
nasty.
these calls with you.
Yeah. She's they getting wild, them calls, and she's gross.
Wait, is she phone boning?
No. Remember, I ain't
Oh,
childhood. I ain't. It
I
had been
thought
like a
that.
week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah. That one was gross. But I thought you meant like we were getting like some almost phone bone, and I was like,
hey,
damn.
you never know.
No, we
You never
don't. We
know
don't
what
know
we're gonna
what's
get.
gonna come out. Because I mean, we got that with Wade. So
Yeah, Jen, he did. But they said that wasn't.
they do that regularly.
Yeah.
That wasn't out of the
Um,
norm for them.
but maybe he had a feeling. I don't know.
We don't know.
That's just it's the whole thing's terrible, I have a younger brother, like I'm the big sister, and I can be as mean as I want to him. I can call him what I want, I can say what I want, but don't mess with my brother
Don't mess with my little brother.
because I will
Mm-mm.
come after you.
Same. I was the same way. And I'm like, and I was about to say, my oldest nephew and I are only 11 years apart.
Jen, I think
Um,
some friends had said that, but I listened to an interview of his mom earlier and the sister, and she was like, no, that was pretty normal. Like you just never know when you might get one from one of us if we doing whatever.
right. Could have woke
Um,
up in the middle of the night and was like, oh, while I'm up,
mhm.
let everybody, they'll wake up to this in the morning, like kind of
Yeah.
thing. But like I was saying, even my oldest nephew, I'm only 11 years older than him. Like we grew up like siblings, right? I could
Mhm.
stay and do whatever, but don't mess with him.
Yeah, I have a little cousin like that. Well, I say little. He's 2.5 years younger than me. Like I can be so mean, and we would fight. Oh my god!
Oh, me and my nephew too.
Don't
And at the
let me
same
see
time,
somebody
like
else
he was
do
my
it.
first baby too. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, but let me find out somebody at high school is giving you a hard time.
Mhm. I'm coming. Like don't.
Just call me. Call me. Even though he stands a whole foot taller than me. Call
I know,
me.
right? I mean, I'm only 5 foot, so it's not hard.
Me either. I was the first like height achievement in my family. They'd be like, "Oh, I'm taller than her. Yay." Thanks.
So I think we're gonna cover some more. I think definitely we should cover some more Mackenzie and not let it die off. And um, because her appeal's still out there, right? And the more people who know and the more people who hear about everything, the better for the family, both
Mhm.
families. And
I agree.
I adore all the sisters on both sides. Like they just,
Yes. They're so sweet. Everything that I've seen.
mhm.
And there's a petition. I didn't grab the link, but there's a petition
About
for
Dom's
Dom's
law.
law.
Yeah. So y'all definitely look into that. I think Plug has it.
I'll find
Um,
it and post it too.
Mud Rock, yes, I love that. That's the website I was telling you about the other night. To go on to find stuff.
Oh, you read that wrong. She's saying the Murdoch case.
Oh, Murdoch. Okay.
It, but I
Yes.
know what yes, the Murdoch case is going to be wild too. I think it's crazy that they won that. Um, I mean, I still think he's going to be found guilty. And
Well,
even if he's not, he has
he's got
those
to
federal
spend like
charges. He's not getting out
what, 40 years in there?
on just the federal charges. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not getting out. Like
And
the
he said he did tell his attorney. His attorney spoke last week and said, "Look, he knows he's not getting out. He knows he's not coming home. He just doesn't want to go, be known to say that, um there's already a Dom's law about an e-bike. Oh, good to know."
Okay, so I'll make sure that I find the
He
right. I'll check with Plug and make sure that I get the right link.
he didn't want to be known for murdering his child and
And his
his wife.
wife.
He's fine with
I
going to
mean, he
prison
had
for another 40 years.
right,
But
and they had already gotten off on the housekeeper one. Like too
mhm.
much happened around that family. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was crazy. But I'll
That
watch it
son was
again.
looking exactly. That
I'll
son was
also
looking
watch
at
that
a
Amanda
charge
Heard
like
one. If that ever
yes,
happens again.
we need to do if that one. I think we should recap that one.
She
Dang it, I
deleted all
keep
her
forgetting to
videos.
post that shirt. Okay, I'm gonna post it when I get off of here.
Okay. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. We love y'all. And we'll be
We
back. We'll
do.
let y'all know when we're gonna come back. I'll be out of town for the next 2 days.
And I have
So
work coming up, but I'm sure we
Yep.
can fit in a shorter live. I say short, but
we just talk a lot. So
we do. And I'm sorry to the people who don't like it. Put us on 2 times
Lonnie,
speed.
I'll see you later.
Bye,
I'll see all
Lonnie.
y'all later. Bye. Thank y'all for being here.
Thank y'all.
See y'all later.
Is there any last word that you'd like to say?
Did I touch on that? Okay, so everything is like you think. I don't want to force anything and just say too much or sound crazy. And that's it.